Hey everyone, my name is Wes, and welcome back to another episode of Terror Talk where I discuss creepy clips online. I created this original horror music to add to the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Be sure to leave your own comments, and when you're done watching, check the description if you'd like to listen to my music without the commentary. Now let's get into it and have some fun.
I grew up in Massachusetts, and every summer since I could remember, I would spend the 3 months in a classic coastal New England town. You know the type if you've been in that area of the country. I had a big group of friends who always did the same thing, and we would get up to all kinds of shenanigans every day after our respective jobs. I was 19 years old when this happened, like most of my friends, and I had just gotten off of a dock boy job I had. So, like any other night, I texted my friends what the plan was and picked up my friend, who I'll call Emerson, from his job to go get alcohol, as he was the one with a fake ID. We got the alcohol and went back to the small town where we lived. We decided to get on my family's boat that I was able to take out on my own, to have some beers while we wait for everyone else to finish what they were doing. We drove around the little peninsula we were on to this place where a lot of people anchor and hang out. There were a couple of boats anchored already, and it was about 7 p.m., but it still wasn't unusual.
Do you like going out on the water and hanging out, and do you have any creepy stories related to that? I like never ever go out onto the water. I get seasick really easily, so going on boats is definitely not my thing at all. But let me know in the comments below if you have any creepy stories related to going out on the water, hanging out with friends in a little boat like this. Let me know in the comments.
We found a spot between the two boats, threw the anchor down, and just chilled and drank. We were having a nice time, listening to the music from the boat to our left, when the one to our right decided to leave. And then eventually the other boat's music shut off. We thought they were going to leave as well, so Emerson and I, in our new drunken state, began to groan and yell to turn the music back on to keep the party going, and a bunch of other stupid stuff like that, but it didn't happen. We were sitting on the bow and started to drink again before Emerson said, "Dude, look." I turned around to look at the boat and saw three people standing on the edge, just looking at us. My first reaction was to laugh because I was drunk, and then I turned back around, but Emerson kept staring at them. Now, admittedly, I don't have a great sense of danger. I tend to be optimistic and lighthearted about most things, but Emerson was obviously uncomfortable. I told him not to worry about it. They were probably just trying to get a better look or something. But he kept looking with an uncomfortable look on his face, which I didn't get at the time. At this point, it's pretty dark. Nothing illuminating the area but the lights from their boat, and therefore you couldn't really see who it was, just the silhouettes of these people. After a couple of minutes of trying to get Emerson to snap out of it, I turned back around and saw they were in the same position, staring at us. I thought it was a joke, so I got the megaphone from the compartment over the steering wheel and said, 20 to watch, fellas, which pissed Emerson off because he sensed something wasn't right. I was putting it back when I heard one of them laugh, audibly a man, but something was off about it. It sounded almost sinister. It was slow and low. It was kind of raspy. It was at that point that I started to feel uncomfortable. Emerson got up and said, "Let's get the hell out of here, bro. This ain't right." But I responded that it was fine. Right after that, we heard two splashes in the water from their direction and saw that only one silhouette remained on the boat. That made Emerson immediately start pulling the anchor up, as I was laughing at the situation and at him.
Yeah, if I had a friend like that, like if I was Emerson in this situation, I would be freaking pissed at the friend that just keeps laughing. I'd be like, dude, like, shut the fuck up and start taking this seriously. Like, this is really getting serious now. And the fact that they jumped into the water, those guys jumped in the water, makes everything just so much more real and serious, doesn't it? Because at that point, you know it's no longer a game. And they're actually freaking swimming toward your boat now. And that would just be a really bad thing to have to deal with and to have to experience. And, this little asshole keeps laughing at the whole thing. And yeah, if I was Emerson, I would be absolutely pissed off. But yeah, kind of a crazy story so far, yeah.
Which, looking back now, was unbelievably stupid. He tried telling me to turn the engine on while I was laughing my ass off, watching him pull the anchor up as I was trying to drink my beer. In fact, I was laughing so much that I didn't notice the sound of the two people swimming near our boat. Emerson paused and looked at me with the anchor in his hands, which made me pause too. We couldn't see into the water, as it was dark and the lights were off with the boat. I called out hello, got nothing. Even the sound of the splashing water stopped. Right after that, I simultaneously heard Emerson yell, "Oh shit," and a sudden splash of water behind me before I turned and saw someone trying to climb onto the back of our boat. I freaked the fuck out, but while turning the key, I saw a hand grab the railing on the side of our boat near Emerson, who was yelling and holding the anchor up, ready to fight. I finally turned the boat on and instinctively gunned it forward, smashing into the sandbar that was right in front of us. I put it in reverse and drove backwards as fast as possible until we were out of the little bay and back into more open water. I threw it back in neutral, and Emerson and I just looked at each other before he started giving me the "I told you so's" and "you're a dumbass." I fully agreed and said we should go back, at which he agreed. In hindsight, we should have hightailed it back to the boat docks near my house, but for some reason, we decided to pick up everything that was thrown around during our escape. We didn't even finish before I noticed in the direction we just came from the lights of a boat approaching, and it was approaching fast. I said no way, and jumped back to the steering wheel and pushed full throttle. Our boat is old, so it doesn't go super fast, and even though I was full speed ahead, they were gaining on us. Emerson started to lose it, saying things like, "Who are these guys? What do they want? Why can't they just let us chill on the water?" So I told him to chill out and focused on going straight to the docks. After about 5 minutes, the docks were in sight, but the boat behind us was so close that we could see the bow itself going up and down with the waves. I honestly didn't know what to do. I banked a hard left and got as close to the shore as I could without beaching. Miraculously, the other boat peeled off in the other direction. We breathed sighs of relief, and I still went full speed back to the docks. After docking and being relieved at the fact that there wasn't any damage to the boat, we met up with our friends after that and told them what had happened, and also came up with some theories, like maybe they wanted to rob us, or maybe they wanted to take the boat. We didn't recognize the boat, so they probably weren't from around here. I don't know. I don't like to think about what would have happened. I'm just glad we didn't find out. I do know that I'm thankful for Emerson being there. Without his skepticism, I think things definitely could have taken a turn for the worst.
Yeah, and it is really good to have a healthy amount of skepticism in those situations because having a dumbass friend that just keeps laughing at everything, it kind of does anger me a lot because there are people like that will just laugh at everything and not take things seriously, especially when there's alcohol involved. And honestly, that's kind of why, a big reason why I don't like alcohol in the first place is because it doesn't make you think clearly in situations where you need to think clearly. So, yeah, but it's kind of crazy that those guys chased them all the way back to the shore, essentially. Like, it seems like they were trying to rob them, and maybe even worse, who knows. But yeah, kind of a crazy story and situation to find yourself in. But yeah, it's just good to, have a healthy amount of skepticism in these types of things. But I hope that you enjoyed my commentary and the music, and I will see you in the next video.